Hello, my name is Elina, and I'd like to welcome everyone to the Tuesday World Meditation. Tonight, you join me from my home in Saskatchewan, Canada. This sacred time and space is devoted to our shared practice of entering stillness together and of giving together. Let us first surround and protect ourselves with the love and the grace of God. Before we begin the meditation, I'd like to share a passage from the new message about practice. I'll read from the Revelation, the first commitment. This revelation was revealed to God's messenger, Marshall Leon Summers, on September 25th, 2008, in Boulder, Colorado. God is trying to free you so you can be in the world and have the power that God has given you to express in this world, so that your true gifts may come forward, so that you may find where these gifts are to be given, and so that you may find the people who will help you to give them and who will honor them and value them. You may participate in daily life carrying on your daily activities, but you are sensitive to the presence of knowledge. And as you learn to still your mind, as you take the steps to knowledge, you will be able to feel and hear the guidance that knowledge will give you at every turn in the road, at every unexpected challenge. For no matter how complex your life may become, or how uncertain the environment around you may become, knowledge can navigate these things. It is the pilot of your life. It is your inner compass. Neglect this, and you will be a slave to the forces of the world and will become lost in the world. Lost in a world of pleasure and pain, lost in the great waves of change that are coming to the world, a stranger to yourself and a stranger to others. First, God must rescue from your condition in order to provide for you a greater journey and a greater accomplishment in life. You cannot simply add on higher purpose to your life as it is, for your life as it is will not support it, because you are not free to follow a greater purpose yet. Following this purpose does not require perfection or enlightenment, but it does require a shift within yourself, a shift of allegiance away from your fears and desires to a greater power within you. When you have made this shift, and even in the process of making this shift, you will see the world very differently. You will have a very different vantage point, as if you have gotten high enough on the mountain to really see what is around you, whereas before you were lost in the valleys and the trees below. Knowledge will indicate if you are to become involved in a political campaign or a campaign of social change. It will indicate if that is part of your education and destiny. To make these commitments without knowledge is to cast yourself in life before you really know who you are and what your life is about. And you will be involved out of fear and anger. You will be involved because you resist or resent others and their actions. This is not the motivation that will bring real resolution to anything. Even if your cause appears to be noble and justified, if you are engaged because you are angry or resentful or fearful, then that is what you will contribute to the situation. That will only create opposition and more conflict in the world. Now you are fighting others for something that you want. Perhaps you are not using weapons. Perhaps you are only using words and actions that are lawful, but you are bringing more resentment and hostility into the situation. And those are things that the human family does not need more of. Your participation in life must be governed by a greater power within you if it is to be truly effective. Even those who oppose you will be affected if your intentions are clear and are guided by knowledge. They may not agree with you, but they will respect you. Or they realize you do not hate them, you do not wish them ill, you do not want to overthrow them or cast them down. That is a very great difference from what motivates people in their political behavior or campaigns, or even in their emphasis for social justice. How many times have you seen the world revolutions only leading to a different set of oppressive powers? Perhaps with a different philosophy, but nonetheless, they are in a sense no better than the ones who preceded them. They only have a different base of support in the society or the country. And the cost of the revolution is terrible. Many people lose their lives. Many people now become oppressed by powers that do not favor them. Perhaps your destiny is to become a social advocate or to enter a political arena, but it must be guided by knowledge, and it cannot be governed by hostility and resentment. This does not mean you are not ferocious in your emphasis, but it does mean that your heart is open and that hatred is not your guide. Even if under very severe circumstances you are called to defend your nation against invasion or intervention from others, you cannot hate your enemies here. Even at this time, humanity is facing intervention from races from beyond the world. They are not human, they are not like you. They view you in a cold, dispassionate way, but you cannot hate them, for they are sentient beings created by the same God that created you. Perhaps now they are functioning without knowledge, which is certainly the case, or they would not be intervening here. But you cannot hate them. And the revelation continues. You are not here to make separation work. You are not here to perfect the world. You are here to contribute something to the well-being of people, to the well-being of life, and to plant seeds for the future of humanity. A seed is a very tiny thing. It does not look like it has any potency at all. You hold a little seed in your hand and you say, well, what can this do? But the seed can grow a great tree. Seeds can grow food. Those little tiny things in your hand look like they have no power, but they are really the source of future benefits. You do not know what will work for the world. You do not really even know what your society needs because you are not yet guided by knowledge. Even justice, how would that be accomplished? You cannot force it upon people, or you simply become another force of oppression. It is a conundrum, you see. You cannot really figure it out in your intellect. But justice is necessary, peace is necessary, people's well-being is necessary. They are all necessary. But how to accomplish them must be guided by a greater power, for only God knows how this can be done. You, with all of your ideas or political sophistication, cannot really figure this out. This frees you, and this returns you to the source of your power and your strength. You can believe whatever you want, you can give yourself to whatever you think is meaningful. But if you are not connected to knowledge, then you are a stranger to yourself and a stranger to others. God knows what the world needs. God knows what is coming for the world. God knows about the great waves of change that are coming to the world and about humanity's future and destiny within a greater community of intelligent life in the universe. God knows the nature and intention of those races who are intervening in human affairs, races from beyond your world. God understands the human condition. God understands what real freedom is. God has given you a greater purpose to be in the world at this time, facing these circumstances. You cannot figure out what God knows. You can only follow and learn. God has put knowledge within you to guide you, to protect you, and to lead you to your greater accomplishments in life. Your intellect must be in service to this, for here you are not the master. You are an expression of something greater, and being this is the greatest joy for the heart and the soul. But you must take the steps to knowledge. You cannot simply assume your life is moving in the right direction. You cannot simply assume you are living your real purpose for being here. You cannot assume that your ideas and beliefs represent your deeper nature or the real truth of life. That is why you must have the commitment and the humility to take the steps to knowledge, to allow this greater power to emerge within you and to use all the powers of your intellect and all of your skills to assist you in receiving the great endowment of knowledge. This is the calling. This is the power. This is your fundamental responsibility. Before you give yourself to the world, before you commit yourself to others, before you determine your life, you must come to knowledge and build a connection to knowledge and take the steps to knowledge. This is why you must seek the kingdom first, the kingdom being knowledge. Before you launch yourself out into the world, knowledge will provide the steps and the pathway, but you must learn to listen, to relieve yourself of your constant activity, busyness, and self-preoccupation, to listen to the deeper currents of your life, and to make this part of your daily life and your daily practice. For this is the emphasis of your spiritual practice. Spiritual practice is not here to give you happiness or to assure prosperity or to transcend you out of this world. It is here to connect you with the deeper currents of your life. A current that is moving, that has direction, and that has somewhere to go. You do not know where to go, but knowledge within you does know where to go. When you realize that, you will be able to make the real connection that will make all the difference for you and for everyone who will know you. Please join me now in a 30-minute stillness practice. Take whatever time you need to reach your own step and enter stillness when you are ready. Nasi Nobare Goram. While we are in this place of stillness, I'd like to share a passage from the new message speaking about the messenger. I'll read from the Revelation, the prophet, which is from the book, The New Messenger. The revelation was revealed to God's messenger, Marshall Vian Summers, on July 23rd, 2009, in Damascus, Syria. The messenger is here to empower people, to renew their ancient ties to knowledge, and to equip and prepare them for the great waves of change that are coming to the world. There will be many voices who will speak of change. There will be many voices who will speak of prophecy. There are many voices who will project fearful or desirable images of the future. There will be many voices claiming to reveal a new message from God, but there is only one, for this has always been the way that God has brought a new revelation into the world. If the revelation were given to many people, there would be different versions. People would alter it. People would adapt it to their current thinking and beliefs, their current religion and culture, and the message would lose its clarity, its integrity, and its focus. Only one who has been prepared to be the messenger can be the messenger. Only one who is called and prepared to be the prophet for this time and this age can be the prophet for this time and this age. There are many bright people in the world who will reveal through their own intelligence a recognition of the world's condition and its future difficulties. But only the prophet can reveal what it really means and how it can be attended to and what must change at the deepest level of people's minds and hearts. To change course, to recognize reality, and to prepare for a future that will be unlike anything they have ever known. There will be many voices. Some of them will be charming and persuasive, elegant and articulate, but only the messenger knows and has the true message. Only he can deliver it, for only he has received it. Only he can embody it. The burden then is upon the listener, the recipient. The test is for them. Will they remain blind, or will light begin to penetrate where there was only darkness before? Will they respond at the deeper level of knowledge, or will they just project their attitudes and beliefs? The messenger has passed the test. He does not need to provide miracles to convince people because the miracle is the new message itself. And the miracle is the power and presence of knowledge within the individual. And the revelation continues. The tragedy is that humanity is not responding to God's presence and communication. And as a result, the human family is suffering and is taking a path of decline, conflict, and self-destruction. There is not enough resident wisdom and restraint in the world yet to counteract these tremendous negative tendencies. It is not the end of time, It is a great transition to a different kind of life in a different kind of world, a transition from living in isolation in the universe to living in a greater community of life, where humanity will have to create its own rules of engagement and protection for the world. It is a transition to a new and sustainable life in the world so that humanity can have a future. It is a transition of such great significance and impact that there is nothing in human history that can compare with it. Even the collapse of ancient civilizations, though dramatic and symbolic, cannot match the impact of the great waves of change that are coming to the world, or humanity's encounter with the greater community of life. Only the messenger can speak of these things with real clarity, for he has been given the new message from God. In obscurity, he has received it, and now he must present it and speak for it and call people to it. It is a tremendous and disheartening task. So everyone who can respond is significant in receiving and learning and living the revelation. Everyone can make the difference in whether human civilization will survive and grow or crumple under its own weight and dysfunction. You must look forward. You must open your mind. Set aside your condemnation of others. Unburden yourself from the weight of history so that your eyes may be clear, so that your ears can hear and your hearts may know. God's new message speaks of the present and the future. The past is only memories now. You carry wisdom from the past and lessons from the past and gratitude for the contribution of individuals and nations from the past. But you must be present now and look to the future. And the new revelation will give you the eyes to see if you can receive it and learn of it with humility and gratitude. The prophets will need your assistance and support, and knowledge within you will tell you how this can be done. Let us spend a few moments together to be with Marshall and send him our love and strength and great gratitude. Now, see if there are others in the world or in your life who need to receive this strength as well. If so, spend a moment sending strength or another quality to these individuals. Nasi Novare Goram. Thank you all for coming.